God always answer my question in a mysterious way. Always learn to ask God questions because He will answer. So a few days ago, I asked God if KFC company that deals with chips, they sell chips, burgers, and other products. If they are demonic, if they are operating on the occult. So yesterday I bumped into a video that was talking about KFC, that they operate in Satanism, something about the devil worshipping. Because the reason why I asked this question is because I was a member of SDA Church, and one of the preachers said he was teaching us not to buy chips or other products from KFC, especially the chicken, because those chickens, they are the hens, they are the baby chicken. They are called the hens chicken. The chicks, they are babies, and then they are injected something to make them grow into become big so that they could be sold. That's what they do with their products, with their hen. That's what they do. They inject them and then they sell them as big chicken. And the thing in which they inject the chicken, the chick with, it is a product they use, the sanitary, the chicken feeding product that has been mixed with the sanitary parts from women, which is grinded, then mixed together, then give to the chicken so that it will grow. And you can imagine this chicken goes to people eat and it goes back to their stomach. So since I learned that, I've been wondering, is it not witchcraft? Because they are feeding on female blood, menstrual flow. So that's why I was wondering, but somebody confirmed it on YouTube yesterday. Another question is that I was asking God, why is it that I was born in this kind of family? Because I know some members of my family perform witchcraft. Why was I not born in another family? So when I went to church that same week, the pastor was preaching about the same thing, and the pastor was saying that wherever you are born, that's what God had planned. Because you did not have to choose another family. God chose you to be in that family. Like in Jeremiah 29:11, say God knew the plan He had for you before you were born. So that's where you're supposed to be. Because I hated it. I say, why am I born in a family of witchcraft? Because they mess up with your life wherever you go. But anyways, I've learned to rely on God, and God is fighting this battle. The third question I asked God, I asked God, how do I know I have provoked the Holy Spirit? Because I know I have the gift of the Holy Spirit in me. And I asked God, how can I know that I have provoked the Holy Spirit? So the same week I asked this question, when I went to the church that Sunday, the pastor was preaching the same thing, and he was saying, the way you can provoke the Holy Spirit is the way some of us, some people, they condemn the churches. They go to different churches and they pinpoint this is not a man of God. He's using witchcraft. This one is not a man of God. You don't know the kind of spirit they operate in. So God doesn't like you to condemn. Do not judge, so that you shall not be judged. Let God be their judge. If you are not satisfied with that kind of preaching or the way they do the things, better you get out of that place. So that was how the pastor was saying, that's the way you can condemn the Holy Spirit, because you never know what they're operating in. God will guide you to the right church, but whatever they are doing, you're not supposed to condemn them. Another thing I asked God, God, are you planning for me to get married? Do you ever plan for me to get a job or ever get married? Because that night I was reading the story about Gideon, because Gideon was asking God, show me a sign. Show me a sign that you're with me. Show me a sign that you're going to work on my way. You're going to be on my side when I go to the battle. And God showed Gideon a sign. It's the fleece. Use the fleece. So when I asked God that question, I was so angry. I was going to bed. That was around 3 a.m. I had a sleepless night because I was overthinking and wondering what is God plan had for me. So immediately after I had that thought, and I remember the verse I've read about Gideon, I said, God, give me a sign. It was around 3 a.m. I could not think of anybody could be awake at that time. And I got a message. Immediately I started thinking of that. A pastor from a different church sent me a message and gave me an answer to what I asked. But God has a good plan for me. Everything about me is like God was answered immediately at 3 a.m. Who would have thought the pastor was awake at that time? I was once a beside a church. Another question for God is, I had one of my workmen was saying that he asked God for a husband and he asked God to give him a sign. And when he asked God for a sign, he had a dream, and God showed him a sign. This is the man you marry, he'll marry you. And surely, some few days later, the girl met the man exactly as she dreamed about this man. And this man walks on the altar. That man married her at the church. So I asked God, if God you can speak to this girl through the dream, why can't you speak to me? That day I went a dream and I saw I never had a boyfriend. I was never married. I've never been married. So I went to sleep, and that day I remember I was on a plane. I've never been on a plane. I remember it was a plane, and there were two gentlemen who were asking me for my hand for marriage. I never thought of going out to America or anywhere else. But God assured me that two men will come for my hand for marriage. Another thing I asked God, his plan for my life, his vision for my life. But this time around, he did not use a person. He gave me a vision with the kind of plan he had me for the future. And then I came to know that my destiny was not here. My destiny was somewhere else because of the kind of vision he gave me. So always ask God questions. God has a way of answering your question. He can use people, children, he can use adults, he can use your friends, he can use your soul, he can use so many ways as long as you get the message. He can even use the angels. Another thing I asked God, I remember I asked God, what are your plans? Because that is the only thing I always ask. What are you planning with me? I'm here jobless, I cannot pay rent, I cannot pay school fees. Immediately I asked God that question. In fact, I was not asking, it's like I was complaining. You always promise me this, but you don't give me anything. Immediately I asked God that. I was lying on the bed, and I said, I rose up my head. I saw a very tall angel was standing next to my bed. This angel was called Angel Ben. He was holding a soap in his hand, and he was washing his hands. Then I knew, wow, God has a good plan for me. He has blessed my soap business, and this business is going far because I make bar soaps and liquid soap and sell them. So that's how I confirm God has a plan for me with this business. In fact, He gave me the name, the same name I'm using. One day I asked God, if God, you want me to start this kind of business, give me the name that I can use. I used to name this business. And when I went to sleep, I dreamed about somebody. I don't remember clearly, but I remember somebody told me in a dream, use this name for your business. And since that day, that has been the name for my business. Okay, so keep up with fight. Keep up with it. Bye bye.